welcome to The Last Track, where we help people showcase the last track of their life story in their final wishes. I am your host, Brian Norris, the co-owner of Bateman Funeral Home in Newport, Oregon. Just like a song can bring you back to a day, a time, and a memory, so too can a well-planned service. And the quote of the day, "Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise." That's by Victor Hugo. Preparing for a pre-need arrangement can be intimidating. It seems like it can be overwhelming, and there's a lot of information, and you want to make sure that you're bringing the right thing. We're going to give you a few tips of things to pack and put together into a pre-need arrangement folder that you can put everything together and then just take it with you and just take your time and one step at a time get all of this information together. Get a folder, and in the folder you can place these important documents so that they're easily accessible, and make sure you tell at least one person where that folder is, and then just bring that folder to the arrangement. What should you put in the folder? First is personal information, and they'll call it vital statistics, but it is personal information. It's going to have where were you born, who your parents were, what city and state. It will have your social security number, and it will have whether you were in the military or not. It will also ask about your parents' names, and I mentioned that, but it's also going to ask for your mother's maiden name. So that's some of the things that you want to have in there. It'll also have highest level of education as well as your career. And I usually tell people just put down one thing, because a lot of times you've had 4 or 5 different careers, but it's the one thing that would describe you the best. And so that's the first thing. That's under your vital statistics information about yourself. The next thing, if you did serve in the military, if you have a copy of your discharge paperwork, like a honorable discharge, or if you have a DD 214, and they will be asking if you're going to have military honors. Let's say you want to have military honors. They'll ask things like what your rank was. They'll have your serial number and the discharge date, the dates of service, like when you entered service and when you were discharged. And those things will go into your file. And then that way they can, if you want to be placed at a national cemetery or you want to have the military honors, then they can get that arranged for you to have that done. If you're paying by a life insurance, like an assignment, just get a copy, a copy of the first page that has the policy number, the name of the insurance company, as well as the amount that the policy was for. And you can stick that into your folder. Then you can have your burial information and plan. And we've had a couple podcasts where we talked about your wishes, that kind of thing. So if you've listened to that podcast and you've written down what your final wishes are and have that all together, take that and put it in this folder as well and take that with you. Your pre-planning book. A lot of funeral homes will have a planning book. We have one as well. But in that, it will also have your information, like maybe a service that you want with the hymns and, those types of things, where you want to have it done, where you're going to be buried or where you want to be scattered, that kind of stuff. And you can put that in your folder so that when you meet with the funeral director, you have all of that and you can just hand over a copy. And then that way it can go into a folder. And if you're not going to be funding a pre-need with a life insurance policy, then there'll be a way to make your payment. And either you'll be on a payment plan with that funeral home, and they'll get that set up for you to pay so much money per month, a check, cash, Visa card, just some way to make that final payment. So those are some things that you'll want to put in that folder to be able to go to have that pre-arrangement. And you can feel prepared, and you can try to get rid of some of those jitters as you go to have that arrangement. If your funeral home has a website where that you can fill out all of this information on a pre-arrangement form, you might just do that. And then you don't even have to bring in very much stuff because you've already filled out most of that information. You just might need to have to bring in a copy of your military paperwork, a copy of your life insurance, and or a form of payment. But like on our website, you can go and you can literally put all of that information onto that pre-arrangement form, and then they'll print it out there at the funeral home, and then they're all taken care of. So hopefully this has helped you. It's a short podcast, but it just goes through and does a quick breakdown of the little things that you would want to have in a folder to go to have your pre-arrangement. Hopefully this podcast has helped. And with every podcast, we take a moment to remember all the families that are experiencing a loss, and we light a virtual candle in their memory. Let's do that now. This has been The Last Track. I'm Brian Norris, and you can find out more about Bateman Funeral Home at our website at batemanpacificview.com, or you can visit us on Facebook. If you have feedback or question about today's episode, you can give us a call at 541-265-2751, or you can email us. Our email address is info@batemanpacificview.com. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure to listen to the other two podcasts in this trilogy. They're entitled How to Talk About Final Wishes and How Do I Know That My Money is Safe? And coming up, Where Can You Hold a Funeral?